Next question. Michael Creaney, or I believe that's how they pronounce his surname. I hope so. Dear Dutch and James, I'm emailing from Ireland. I'm a huge fan of the channel. Thank you. I was wondering how you think non-compete contracts being banned will impact the wrestling business. And do you think we will see more surprise debuts, i.e., like Rick Rude and WCW? Thank you. Now, this is actually quite prescient because last week
Yeah.
you had said NDAs were getting done away with. But no, it's no compete clauses were getting done away with. So, no compete clauses being done away with. How will that affect the wrestling business?
No compete clause. It just means that guys can just all of a sudden leave one company and go to another. I don't think it'll have that. I think most guys in WWE are kind of locked in. They may have to say, if you go work for another company, we're not paying you the 3 months. They give you a 3 months grace period. So if you say you give your notice, well, you still get paid for 3 months. But if you jump to another company, they might withhold that money. I don't know if that's legal or not. I guess it is because they're not working on your shows. So you wouldn't be obligated to pay them, would you?
Well, how's that going to work with negotiating with other companies then? So, will you have a window like in the run up to your contract? Let's say you've got 6 months left on your contract. Will you then be allowed to negotiate with other companies? Because it'll be
I
a bit
have.
unfair if like you're fired now and now you can negotiate with somebody else.
Well, I think the non-compete has got to take in before you leave. You got to be talking to them or somebody else for another spot in another company. See, before you couldn't even talk to, say he's in WWE, you couldn't even talk to WCW, or WCW couldn't even talk to anybody from WWE. And they used that. I mean, they were very, very strict. But now that it's been ruled uh, illegal, I guess, or you can't use it, that's going to change. But I don't think it's going to change the trajectory of anybody. It won't change the trajectory of any company because you only got one more. So only your top guys would change it. The only ones that could change WWE's direction right now is The Rock and Heyman and Roman Reigns. That would maybe, and I think if you took those three right now and put them in AEW, the first week they'd have a good rating, and then the second week it may go back to where it was. Funny how that happens.
Hmm.
But if you take them out of their what people are used to seeing them in, and take them out of what their opponents are, doesn't have the same pop to it. So we'll that remains to be seen. But I don't think the change will be that evident.
Did in your two different runs with the WWE, WWF, were the no compete clauses exactly the same, or did they even have a no compete in the mid 90s when you were Uncle Zebekiah?
You couldn't have. Okay, say you got fired. This is where WWE's was illegal. Say you got released, or they wasn't going to use you anymore, so you're not getting a check. Okay, but they had a 90-day no compete clause, which means you couldn't go to work for anybody else and pay your bills because it wasn't you'd signed a contract that's saying that it was illegal, that you
And
wouldn't
this is
do it.
before the guaranteed contract as well.
Oh yeah, it was. I guess
Hmm.
some guys had a guaranteed contract. I didn't. A lot of guys didn't.